Alright guys, welcome back to another toy collector review with me, Sergeant Geek, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the playsets and figures from the Megabloks Masters of the Universe series. Now once again, Megabloks is going all out with a lot of these old school toys and bringing new life into them. I love the detail that they put into them. I love the accuracy of the playsets. Reminds me back in the day when I was a young kid playing with these figures for the very first time. I also have a couple of custom Lego minifigures depicting some of the figures from He-Man, and we're gonna do a comparison to that in the video. So let's not talk, let's just jump right into the video. Alright guys, so the first piece we're gonna look at is He-Man's Talon Fighter. Now I don't know if you ever seen when this came out in the mid 80s, is almost identical. It's great the way Megabloks has put this into brick form. It is really cool looking. The only difference between this and the original one is the original one, when it came out, actually came out with a little grip underneath the fighter so you can grab it and fly it around. But this one is amazing. It has the claws for the landing gear. It depicts kind of the feathering, like you see the bricks detailing for the feathering on the wings, and the front is supposed to depict an eagle or a falcon's head. It is bricks, so I can't really knock Megabloks too much for it, but they did the best they could with it. As you can see, it has two projectile launchers alongside of it. Once again, this is a great piece. It really is as accurate as Megabloks can possibly get to the original Talon Fighter by He-Man back in the mid 80s. But also, this Talon Fighter has another part to it, because it also sits upon Point Dread. Now this is the base station for the Talon Fighter. This is a cool addition. It even came with the original Masters of the Universe series vehicle. And as you can see, it actually has a weapons rack. You have a couple of weapons on there. And in the middle, you actually have this little computer system in there. And if you see that little perch on top, that's actually where the Talon Fighter sits. And the cool thing about this is, if you get the Megabloks Castle Grayskull set, you can actually attach this to the top tower and actually have it sit on top of the castle, just like it did in the show, just like it does in the original toys, and now it does it with Megabloks. Once again, Megabloks always, like I've been saying for the longest time, they pay attention to detail when it comes to their play sets. Alright guys, now the next piece we're going to be looking at is He-Man's Wind Raider. Now this once again is another iconic piece from the original cartoon. You can actually fit a figure in there, and it's identical to the original one that came out in the early 80s. It is a great piece. Once again, Megabloks is doing a lot of detail to it. Like you can see the paint scheme on there. Those are not stickers. Those are actually printed on the bricks themselves. It's really cool. I believe it's going to last for a very long time, and it is an awesome piece to have if you are a He-Man collector. Once again, this is the Wind Raider. It is awesome. Now let's take a look at the last vehicle that I have in my collection. Alright, so the last vehicle I got for you is Skeletors Roton. Now I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the original Masters of the Universe series, but this thing looks just like the original toy back from way back then. As you can see, it's got two wheels on the bottom. One of the wheels is actually connected to that saw blade in the middle, and when you roll it back and forth, it actually spins the saw blade, just like the original toy back in the 80s. And as you can see, it has two side-mounted weapons. It has that scary looking face on it, and you can actually fit a minifigure inside of here to roll it around. Once again, this is a cool piece. I never really had one as a kid, but I'm glad to actually get one now in Megabloks, and it's a cool piece to have displayed on my shelf along with the rest of my Masters of the Universe collection. Now, we checked out all the vehicles, we checked out the base. Let's check out some of these figures. And like I said, I actually ordered online some custom minifigures from the He-Man and Masters of the Universe series. So we're going to compare them to the Megabloks minifigures of He-Man, and let's see how they stack up. Alright guys, for our first figure we're going to be looking at is He-Man. And on the left side of the screen you can see we have the Megabloks version of the He-Man. that has some great detail to him. He also comes with his iconic sword, and he comes with his shield, and he also has that chest plate, and once again he has that level of detail that we can expect from Megabloks. And on the right, we have one of the custom minifigures that I purchased off the internet. I bought a complete set for about 20 bucks. As you can see here, he has some pretty good detailing. They had some print on the arms. I guess that's trying to depict some muscles on there. He has some really good back printing. The legs, all he has is printing on the front. I wish they would have went all the way around. It would have been a little bit better. But the front of the figure looks really good. The weird thing is that gigantic sword that they actually sent him with. I don't know where that sword is from. It looks like a giant Voltron sword. And then he has a battle axe. Now, He-Man in the cartoon, I don't know if he had a battle axe. I can't remember, but I know the toy actually came with one. And some of the other He-Mans you're gonna see in this set actually have it. But all in all, once again, as always, I have to give it to Megabloks. Alright guys, and here we have Skeletor himself. On the left, the Megabloks, he comes with his staff with the ram skull on it. And once again, he's depicted very accurately to the cartoon and to the original toy. And on the right, we have that custom figure, which I don't know what they did with this one. It's kind of weird. As you can see, he does have the blue skin. He has the printed skull face, but the hood is like almost a light purple. Then you have a cape, which I never seen Skeletor actually wear. I know some of the other depictions of Skeletor, they have him with a cape, but he has a dark purple cape. And then as you look, when he comes around, you can see on his arms, he has that waverly print there depicting muscles. And his battle uniform on his chest is actually like a dark gray. So he's all kinds of different colors. This is not a very good minifigure of Skeletor, but I'll keep chopping around and see if I can find another one. Once again, as always, Megabloks takes this one. Alright, here we have Madden Arms. Once again by Megabloks. Excellent detailing on the armor, on the weapons, and on the helmet and the face. It's a really good figure. And on the right, as you can see here, they did their best with the armor. They came up pretty close accurate on the weapon itself, but the printing on the legs is a little off. They got the leg armor on the wrong side and the wrong color. And his face, he doesn't have any eyes in his eye sockets. And then he has these weird drawings on the side of his mouth. I guess that's supposed to depict cheeks, but this figure is not that great. So let's take a look at the next figure. And here we have Evil Lyn, Skeletor's second in command. And the Megabloks one, once again, very good detail. The back, as you can see by the peg hole there, they kind of messed up a little bit on the painting of the back part right there. Other than that, it is a really cool figure. And this one kind of freaks me out a little bit because if you notice when she rotates, to me it kind of looks like her eyes follow you. Now on the right, we have the minifigure, custom minifigure Evil Lyn. Now this one, it's okay. It's not a great one. They painted on the armbands on the side. Her staff is pretty cool, but the headpiece is really blocky, and once again she has no eyes. And the character here, the legs are not really painted on very well, the skin tone, and on the back is kind of a little bit darker. And I think on the armor plating here, the creator took a little liberties with it. It kind of reminds me of Madonna back in the 80s. But let's go on and move on to our next minifigures. Alright, and here we have Stratos. Now, when Megabloks created this figure, I knew I had to have him because I remember going out to the toy store and buying the original figure when I was a kid, and he looks so much like the original figure. I just had to have him for my collection. The bow staff, the backpack, the iconic helmet with the goggles, the feathers on the arm, it's all great. Now let's take a look at the custom minifigure on the right. For a minifigure, this one is not that bad. It has a few minor flaws in it, but it can be easily corrected. Like the helmet is a little bit darker. We can always lighten that up. He does have the feathers on the arms, which is really cool. And the chest plate, I can cut that out in the middle to make it more like the strap plate like Stratos has. Other than that, this is a pretty cool custom minifigure. I actually like this one. So let's see how many other ones they made that are pretty cool. Here we have Merman, one of Skeletor's henchmen. Now the Megabloks one, he's a lighter color. I don't remember him being that light color. The armor plating is cool. The weapons is really cool. But the one thing about this one I gotta say is that face. It kind of freaks me out. He looks like a scared raccoon other than a sea creature. I don't know about that one. Now the custom minifigure one, he's got the color right. He's got the color on the eyes right. The armor plating is pretty cool. The weapon is pretty cool. The only thing I don't like about this one is that the guy should have, instead of making it a helmet with eye sockets, he should have just filled in the eyes and put eyes there. It would have looked a lot better. On this one, for the picture of the figure, I'm gonna have to give it to the custom minifigure. I do kind of like that one a little bit better than the Megabloks one. Okay, and here we have another one of He-Man's allies. We have Zodak. Now, as you can see in this video clip right here, he comes with the set of Pantor at Point Dread, and I had to put them together, and I didn't realize until I was editing this video that I actually didn't push down all the way on his upper body, so you can notice that little gap there. But I already fixed it and put him back on my shelf. Other than that, this is a really good figure. The weapon is almost identical to the one that he came with back in the 80s. I love this figure. It's really cool looking. Now let's take a look at the custom minifigure. Now the custom minifigure, the only grievance I have with this one is the chest plating doesn't go all the way to the back. The helmet is pretty accurate. The chest plating in the front though is really accurate. The weapon, they did their best to make it accurate, and they actually gave him a shield, which I thought was pretty cool. The only other problem, like always, no printing on the side or back of the legs. But other than that, this is a cool figure. I actually like this figure as well. It's a really nice figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next figure. And here we have the Sorceress. Now the Megabloks one is all in white. That's the way she comes in the Panther at Point Dread set. They have a really good staff. She comes with a small bird, and the headpiece for this figure is really detailed. I like the way they did it. Now the custom minifigure on the right is the color scheme of what you would see of the Sorceress on the cartoon, and I believe of the minifigure from Megabloks in the Castle Grayskull set. Now all in all, this minifigure is pretty good. I like the fact that they actually gave her that cape that's hard plastic to kind of fan out the way it normally is. She has her staff. Hey, her helmet, her headpiece is pretty detailed and quite colorful like the original Sorceress, and they actually made her have eyes. This one right here is also another good custom minifigure. I like the way they did this one. This one I give it to Megabloks only because of the articulation, but all in all, that custom minifigure is a good minifigure to own. Now let's take a look at another one. Alright, here we have two more Megabloks minifigures. Now I don't have any more custom minifigures and Megabloks of the same character, so I'm just going to show you the rest of the Megabloks characters, and then we'll go and finish off the custom minifigures. And on the left here, you see we have Faker, which is supposedly a robotic He-Man. Once again, got a lot of detail to it, and in the face here, I kind of wish they would actually use that face for the He-Man figure, but it is what it is. This one is a really good detailed figure. And on the right, we have Beastman, the clumsy buffoon henchman of Skeletors. You can see there's a lot of detail. You got the armor plating on the shoulders, you have the chest plating, and they did a lot of detail with the face because it has a lot of color in there. This is another figure I had as a kid, and this minifigure right here reminds me of those early action figures. Let's look at the last two figures for the Megabloks, sorry, and then we'll go on to the custom minifigs. Alright, now here we have Heman and Battle Cat. Now I just love the way they added the Battle Cat to this series for Megabloks. They did a really good job with this. It looks really good. Now the He-Man figure that's on top is not the one that comes with this Battle Cat. This Battle Cat comes with the Roton vehicle. It is actually the Roton and versus Battle Cat playset. But this is a really cool Battle Cat. I had to put the original He-Man on there. I'm going to show you here in a minute the He-Man that actually comes with it. But once again, take a look at the detail of the stripes, and you can actually take the armor off and form him into his secret identity of Cringer, which is pretty cool. And once again, great figure here. Now let's take a look at the next cat. And here we have Panther, Skeletor's Battle Cat. Just like He-Man's Battle Cat, he does come with the armor. He's purple, just like the original in the toy line. I don't really remember seeing him in the cartoon. I guess I'm gonna have to go back to my Blu-ray collection and take a look. But interesting thing about the Battle Cats in He-Man, they were actually pulled from an older failing toy line and painted up for the He-Man toy line. And the Battle Cat for Skeletor Panther was actually covered in like a felt material, so that gave him like a furry type of feeling when you grabbed them. Once again, these are great figures, and I love the way that Megabloks has depicted them in miniature form. Now we got two more figures left from Megabloks, and then we're gonna hit those custom minifigs. I remember these figures back when I was a kid. I actually had both of them. These guys are actually modeled after the battle damage He-Man and Skeletor. And the cool thing about the original toy was they had this rolling plate in the center of their chest that whenever you hit it, it would roll to show a strike, and then if you hit it again, it'll show a second strike, and it'll actually show battle damage on the armor of He-Man and Skeletor. Now, I wish Megabloks was able to do that with this. If they would have been able to do something similar to that, this would have been an awesome figure. But unfortunately, I don't think they have the capability with these tiny figures to do something like that. But all in all, these are some great figures right here. Now the Skeletor comes in the set of the Panther at Point Dread, while the He-Man actually comes in the Roton and Battle Cat playset. I haven't seen these sold individually, but once again, these are some great figures by Megabloks. And now that takes care of all the Megabloks stuff, let's finish off this video with the rest of the custom minifigure He-Man set. Alright, the next two minifigures we have in this custom series is on the left we have Manny Faces. Absolutely love this figure. The color scheme is pretty dead on. The only thing I don't like about it is they didn't give a back printing on the head of another face, and he should have done that, hence the name Manny Faces. And on the right we have one of the greatest figures in this set, that my personal belief is Trapjaw. I love the paint scheme on him, I love the helmet, and I love the fact that they printed out that part for the robotic arm like Trapjaw has in the original cartoon and action figures. These two figures right here are top notch. Now let's take a look at the last two figures in this custom minifigure series. Alright guys, and the last two figures in this collection is Tila and Ram Man. Now as you can see on the left, Tila, they did a pretty good job with her. You know, other than the usual complaints I have from this set, everything else is pretty good. I like the way they try to do the serpent headwear on her and the serpent staff. Really good job. And then the outfit underneath, pretty good job. Now the Ram Man, what they should have did was use the short legs for him, because Ram Man is the shortest figure and character on the He-Man series. Other than that, they did a pretty good job with his armor and everything. The other complaint I have about this one is where they printed the eyes. They gave him these large eyebrows, printed his eyes underneath, and didn't take into account his helmet. So when you put his helmet on, all you got is eyebrows. Other than that, the figures are pretty good. I'll probably see if I can get another Megabloks head where I can change it up and actually get a set of eyes that go right through the slots on the helmet. But that's it for these figures right here, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this video right here. Once again, I want to congratulate our contestant winner for winning the grand prize of the Star Wars radio controlled Dio droid and the Game of Thrones Megabloks Iron Throne set. I only had one contestant enter, so obviously he gets the grand prize. But don't worry guys, I'm going to be putting out more contests as the months go by for 2021, so pay attention to that. Like I said, I'm not going to be advertising it big. If you want to know about the contest, you're just going to have to watch the videos. Once again, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the channel. If there's any type of particular collectibles you want to see on this channel and you want me to review for you guys, just let me know. Once again, this is Sergeant Geek, and I'm signing off.